What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Marin County Free Library and this amazing talk with Omeez Jones. I definitely thank everybody for tuning in out there. This will be recorded, so if you missed it or you're watching this for the first time, it will be out there. We'll be spreading the word.
Yeah.
Without further ado, I'm going to break it off with a little intro. Omeez Jones builds relationships through the honest stories told through the lens and from his life. He is a creator, a community builder, leader, and educator. This 20-something brings hunger to the youth into the professional space, working with notable companies, brands, and community members. Passion is an understatement, as Omeez traverses locations and finds his influence wherever his imagination takes him. In his own words, my belief is that photography and visual storytelling through cinematography can and will inspire the masses to pursue their passions. And he definitely proves that through the work he has produced. Without further ado, let's give it up for Omeez Jones.
Oh, dope ass intro.
Yeah, I had to write something for you, my brother.
Appreciate it.
For sure. So let's just kick it off real easy. Let us know who you are, where you're coming from, and who you representing.
I'm Meez, and I come from Oakland. Oh, well, actually, Oakland, Berkeley, like all across the Bay Area. Honestly, like I grew up in Berkeley and like a bunch of other places. But yeah, I represent myself and my family. Like simple things, keep it simple. I don't want to put no brands out there. So
All right, I like that. Professional, silent, and just humble. We are
for
all
sure.
about that. So, okay, so you be representing the East Bay, and you
Yeah.
represent the Bay Area in general. So, tell us about your upbringing. What are some of the people and experiences that have shaped your unique take on your art in the world as a youth?
So yeah, I mean, as a youth, I was good. Like I had a good upbringing for real. Like I had a single mom, but she worked hard. So I think that hard work came in like around that time. Like just seeing her honestly work hard, that just made all of us work hard. So yeah, just influences just was my family for real. Like I feel like they're the realest people I know. Honestly, like if I was to just put them like on the screen or something, that like that's the realest people I know. So that's like my biggest influence.
Earlier, when we were discussing before we started, you mentioned that you were surrounded by those influences, and
Yeah.
whether it's in the books around you, the photos, and the people.
Yeah.
What was around you when you were growing up as a kid? What kind of creativity and maybe music and things that you liked at the time? Maybe kind of frame it for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So like my upbringing was good. Like it was good vibes. Like I said, I was just around my family, like my grandma, especially like that was like the central part of everything. So like with my grandma being involved, like we just all came together. It's funny, like she lived in Oakland all her life, and we just go to her house, and yeah, she would never want to move out of Oakland. So that was but yeah, just being around them, like we always listen to good music, like R&B. Like my mom always listened to everything. Like I can't even name all the stuff because it's just so much. But like the catalog, like I would listen. Like eventually, I started wanting to get CDs and stuff and get into it. So I started off with like 50 Cent or something, probably around that time, buying CDs. And she was like, "Oh, you can't have it." That was the music at the time. So E40, Too Short, all that stuff. Grew up on all that, Tupac.
So you were surrounded just by culture. That your grandma's the epicenter of that culture,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
family.
good cooking, family. Yeah.
That's so you had a supportive unit, and that's the beautiful thing of hearing how that nurtured you, right?
Yeah.
So even with that nurturing from home, you came up during a time, just because I'm dating myself as an older person at 39, but you
Right.
came up during a time social media was the thing, and culture was being experienced rapidly
Right.
through the internet. Can you talk about that time of were you using a lot of social media growing up?
Nah, I mean, like honestly, we were outside kids for real. Like me and my brother. Well, he was more so like on video games and stuff, but he eventually like bounced outside and stuff. But we were outside kids, and then like that evolution of when the internet just really kind of kicked off is just like I knew how to do like MySpace websites and all that stuff, like coding and stuff. I kind of just got into it. My mom was always on the computer. I started learning how to build computers too. But then like eventually it just didn't become like a thing just that I wanted to execute or anything. And then I play sports. I did all type of sports, soccer, rode dirt bikes, like skateboards, anything, rollerblades at one point. Like I did everything. Scooters. The scooters came out. We like, it's funny story. Like my brother would take like the power wheels. Like we would destroy power wheels, honestly. Like going down hills. Like it was crazy. So like yeah, pretty much outside all the time.
So you're an adventurous kid. I mean,
Yeah, super adventurous.
You're pretty much the X Games in a one person.
Yeah.
You're like you can do everything.
Yeah.
So as you were being an active kid and being influenced and being out in the world, what got you into what you're doing now? What got you into framing photography and cinematography? What one was the first time you kind of went into that direction?
It was a lot of like scenarios. So like before, like it was like during high school or the end of high school ish. I worked with like a bunch of my friends from school. Like it's like so much I could like name them all, but like we had this company called A Society, and it just started from there. I just did the shipping and stuff, but like learning all that like business wise, it was like really good structure at the time. And it was for like college e-commerce, so it was like if you heard of like Jack Threads and Plunder, it was like around that time when like
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
yeah. So we got into like buying the like off season stuff, and then just marking it down for a price, and then doing all type of different like things. So I like learning that business was like super helpful, and then gradually like my friends did music, like so I knew my homie David. He had a nice camera. I always see him take pictures and stuff and videos. And I'm like, damn, like maybe I could try this. And one day he just gave me his camera. He's like, here, like go try it. And I was like, all right. And then once I got like to figure it out and do all this stuff, it was crazy. Like I just got locked in. Like one day I shot a video for my homies, and I was trying to learn how to edit. Like I started off with like Sony Vegas at the time. Like I don't know what it. So, just trying to edit or iMac or video edit, something simple, and then I don't know. I just put the video together, put it on YouTube, and it got views. Eventually, there it just grew. Like I don't know, just kept going, making content, being consistent.
That's what I like about what you just said. It's like you didn't know what you're doing at the time, but you got the tools. You're like, I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know how to splice all these shots together into a story.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the most important things is just try, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta try. Like I tried it, and then I eventually fell in love with it, honestly, and then became like a passion, and I just started learning more about like storytelling and capturing, and just I don't know, just doing it so often. I would just learn different things, and honestly learning about myself too. So that was good.
Through this creativity, self-discovery, can you talk about maybe some of the first mentors you had during this time? Even now, who helped kind of shape you or pointing you in the right direction?
Yeah, well, always is gonna be like my high school friends that are close to me. Like they know exactly who they are. Like it was like I call us this like sandbox, my other brothers or whatever. It was like a couple of us that just always was at the park and just chilling all the time. And then eventually, like once I started doing their videos, and we always had this master plan to just do something. So like do music or whatever. Right now, they're still continuing music, which is great. So. Yeah, eventually I got around Keone again. I brought him up. He's one of the directors that I worked with a lot, like for years, like a long time. And then eventually, like we got together, started building. Like he taught like me how to build like a production company and all that. Like from top to bottom, we started from like Canon T2Is to all the way to Reds and Aries. Like
wow.
Yeah, it took a long time, honestly. Like, but it was a really implant right there. Like honestly, he helped like a lot for real. Like just helping me grow as a like just learning everything about visuals, and then from there like we were still together, and then we went on tour. Like at first he went on tour with Ryan in Europe, like spent 2 months out there, and I was just still doing my video thing, shooting a bunch of videos, and then he gave me a call. He was like, "Yo, me," he's like, "You trying to go on tour?" I was like, "Yeah," like hell yeah, and then eventually I got flown out to New York. and then continued to work with Ryan. I went on tour with him to Vienna actually for 10 days. And we shot this dope documentary for like the whole 10 days. It was like the craziest experience ever I had.
Can you date the year this happened, or when?
This was probably like 2012.
All right. So
yeah, 2013. Yeah.
This now almost 9 years, and you went to Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, I was super young too. I was probably like 20 or 21. Yeah, I think it's around there. But it was crazy experience. Like even getting my passport, like I had to get it in New York like the same day. It was crazy. Then went out there,
So
shot the documentary.
you had a touch or a taste of the professional life, and I think you stuck with it beautifully.
Yeah,
Now, you know.
yeah. Like that was such an elite level to start at. Like he literally came up to us at a concert because he saw that me and Keone shot something and then put it together within like it was probably like 10 hours or something. Like that's where we kind of learned just to like keep it consistent and get it as fast as possible, like turnaround time.
That's another important lesson I think you brought up was sometimes you're going to be tested. If you're saying you're good, they're going to like, all right, you're going to be placed in the fire and go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like we thought we were good at the time, but like, no, that's like super elevated. That's like just going on tour and just being every day having equipment and doing like the whole routine. Like people think it's like all fun and games. Like we just, nah, it's like all work, honestly, like just straight work, no sleep.
What would you say would that have been your first gig that kind of solidified saying you were going to do this for maybe the rest of your life? Or was there a job that you're like, now I know this is going to be something I'm going to do?
Oh yeah, like nah, like there's times where I just got approached by companies like I don't know, I'll probably just say like New Balance, for example. I was like super young, like super fresh into it. Cause I already had did like a Nike billboard off my phone. Like I took some pictures of some fly knits and got on a Nike billboard. Like that was crazy. Like I don't know. Once they sent me that Instagram, like I wish I could honestly find it, but once they sent me that Instagram message, I was like, "What? This is really Nike." Like I was like clicking on, like I was like one of the first, like we were first people on Instagram. So like at that time, with Nike hit you, like that was serious, and it was real, like it happened. It was crazy. So that and then the New Balance situation, they offered me a job like to move to Boston and all this, and I was like, nah, I just couldn't do it at the time. I just didn't know what to do with it. But that was probably like an opportunity I missed out on or whatever.
Right.
But eventually, I just kept going and just focused on what I feel like was the right way.
I think that's another great point. It's like you're being, you knew yourself and your timing. Yeah. You're not letting people rush you into situations. You're like, nah, it's not right.
Nah.
But
it's
that's
because I had to learn a lot of it, like especially with the business part, like with those big companies, it's like real business, it's like you gotta look through a bunch of paperwork. You gotta really read through that stuff. So I know some people don't like to read, but you gotta read through it just to understand what you're getting yourself into.
Do you feel from that early time where you're getting a notice and these gigs to where you're at now, do you feel like you know way more than you did?
Yeah, for sure, like 100 times more, like newbie status. Like what I'm teaching now is like it's like, okay, you could get in at a medium level and then just build from there. It's like kind of like a shortcut, but I like, since I learned the process of what it takes to get to certain things, contacting people and resources, then I just kind of made my own medium of that, like this, doing these things or podcasts or different little opportunities I could talk. Because I don't talk too much, so.
I know. Remember when you hit me up, you're like, I don't really talk to. I'm like, well, I'm gonna do my best to get you talking. That's good. So now you talked about how you developed your education and acumen using early cameras, and going into Reds. But here's the amazing thing, and I watched other talks and you gave, that you do tell people that they don't have to buy the most expensive camera in order to shoot well or the right subject matter. And you kind of express what you mean by that, and what do you mean by what kind of cameras they use, like smartphones or
Smartphones, yeah, like smartphones, your camera, like I don't know,
What's
like
the
it is.
yeah? What's the
Yeah,
philosophy behind just shooting?
yeah,
You.
just it's all subjective, like I said earlier, I got people have asked me to do judge contests, and I'm like, nah, I honestly turn that down because it's like you shouldn't make somebody's art feel like less than something, like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it is art, like whatever it is, like we're creating for a platform that's like it's to be seen or get attention or whatever. Sometimes the attention has gone to other places, but like at a point, it was just like straight photography stuff. So but like for me, I was just like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. I know it's quality work, and I'm consistent at it, and I always find just new discoveries with it. So
I mean, your work is just amazing. That when you're taking just landscapes or of the world, it's like the world's alive. But when you take those portraits of people in their natural environment and setting,
mhm.
it's like you freeze them and they're speaking to me. And just because the colors are so vivid. Now, I can't tell from your website with all those photos. You could be tricking me with a maybe expensive camera or maybe us off your phone.
iPhone, yeah, no,
Yeah.
literally, it's a mix of everything.
So see,
Like
it's like it's the
I,
tools and or the
yeah,
eye,
I
right?
started off with the iPhone 4. Like I remember exactly what picture I took. Like that's another thing why puddles became like a thing for me. Like I didn't like I saw somebody else do it, so I can't take credit for that. But just developing that, just seeing the puddle in different space. Like everybody's gonna walk past the puddle, they're not gonna like look in it and see what. So
Hmm.
I don't know. That just was like a different little venture I seen, or like. But I remember on my iPhone, I just took a picture of a puddle, and then you can see the American flag in the back. So like that was one of the bigger. I don't know what clicked
Yeah.
for there. Yeah,
So, so you basically what if you once it looks good, you just snap, right?
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
Sounds so simple, right?
yeah.
Um, do you use any editing tools? Say if it's for folks who are just starting, or they're still working on their photography. What tools do you
Yeah.
use to edit your shot?
Well, platforms I use like VS Code is a good one just for like if you're on the go edits and stuff. But I upload regular pictures up there too. But Lightroom's another one. If you just dial in, you can get your colors and stuff right. Yeah, those are pretty much the only two I use. Final Cut to edit. That's simple.
Those are good, man. And
Yeah,
I use VS Code. Sometimes they got great filters, and you
yeah,
tweak them a lot. But that's what I'm saying. I can't tell which one's the expensive camera and what's the phone from your photos, and that's
yeah,
it's all about, I guess, subjective to the artist, which is your
yeah.
eye,
No,
right?
yeah,
So, all right, let's. You're telling me so much about your work and everything, and I think what I discovered and how I discovered you, maybe more recent, is because of the documentary I watched online.
yeah.
Um,
Still
you know,
and stuff still in here.
yeah,
Yeah,
I am Omeez. It was so interesting. I was like, who is Omeez? And can you tell us, a little bit about that documentary, who worked on it, and
Mhm.
how that came about, you know?
Yeah. So shout out to Anastasio, John Anastasio. That's my boy. Like he literally came up with me in the photography thing too. Like and it's crazy where he took it. Like so I don't know. We were just talking through it during COVID, and he's like, "Yo, bro, like you be out every day, and nobody's like telling your story like this. That's crazy." Like, and then you join the bike thing and doing the bike thing. So he basically sent me a treatment of it. Like, man, I was like, "Bro, let's just run with it. Like, let's do it." And he ended up coming down. He lives in Oregon, and ended up coming down. It took us a day to shoot. We started at like 6 in the morning and shot all day. And yeah, it just came out like a dope piece, good piece. Like I feel like that's like a classic piece, honestly. Everybody could just timeless piece. You could just look back at it.
Yeah, the soundtracking in the beginning, it
Yeah,
sounded
he
so
was
it sounded so epic. I was like,
epic.
what's going on? I was so excited. And
Yeah,
I think with the work John did with you guys and in framing life, I
yeah,
mean, it showed a snapshot of COVID, but it showed life living throughout,
yeah.
even through COVID. It
It's like
made me
going
excited.
forward.
Yeah, it's moving forward, right?
Mhm.
Um, there's a question somebody placed in the, which will follow up into the film. So Sean Nunez says, what was it like walking around SF in the first few days of this shutdown, and what did the silence feel like? So, because I know you guys shot and filmed everywhere, but during the time you guys are, even now, biking, how does it feel? What are the streets like, and how do you inject your own life into that silence?
Yeah, so I'll start from last March ish, like when the city shut down. I think it was like March 21st or 24th or something like that. And yeah, no, it was real spooky. I was on the BART riding by myself and just in the city by myself. Like everyone was like, "Bro, don't go outside. Like you're tripping, bro." So like I was outside every day. Like I don't know, that was a thrill for me. And shout out to my homie Dom. Like I just convinced him. I was like, "Bro, just come with me, bro. Come on, like quit being scary. Like come on, let's go. Let's do this." Like we were just walking through the streets, like, bro, this is really creepy. Like we could hear ourselves echo. Like we would scream down the street, we could hear the whole echo. Like that was crazy. That was really crazy, honestly. And it's like the world stopped. So it's like I am legend. You hit me in the I am legend. But
Did you when this first, I guess, first of many rides, did you then start to see the city and the world differently? Yeah, I mean,
nah, not that's crazy. Like honestly, with my bike now, I was just telling my Jim, like I don't even see the world the same anymore because I used to walk a lot. So walking out, I just seeing everything. I see every square inch, but on my bike, I do see it. I still see stuff, but it's not the stop and take pictures type rides. It's just like we just keep going.
do you think
So now,
do you think by experiencing the world in, I mean, depending on the mobility you're going at, you saw you're like expanded your ability to see things, and does that help your art a bit?
yeah, in a sense, yeah. Like I get to see more space, like outwards more. Always exploring those type of things, but like I said, honestly, I feel like I gotta get back to walking. That was like my square one, like where I started, just walking around, being out. I seen way more. I seen a lot more people, but the transition from COVID to now is like it's getting back to like feeling normal, I guess. But still everybody's wearing masks and stuff.
Right. I mean, it's not going to change anytime soon, but we'll
Yeah,
see, right?
yeah.
So, bringing it back to your work and as you represent yourself, do you can you share, Laning, any obstacles that you have faced in the past or currently face as for yourself, a young Black creative,
Yeah, Black
and
Friday.
how do you navigate upward when you're trying to quiet all that noise? You know.
Yeah, like man, it's crazy. Honestly, I feel like it is a biased thing. Like th- it's people that run companies that are in like they're not your average street people per se. They're not gonna come up to you and give a conversation. So I think that's one factor, and then just the intimidation factor, and then the not just having a conversation on a regular. Like, when's the last time somebody just walked up to a Black person, or not saying like that, but like
Right.
walked up, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel today? So I don't know. It's just,
It seems unfair because that's the thing. And when there's no communication and there's already prejudice,
yeah,
because if you were just to show your work alone, without who's showing yourself, I'm
oh
sure
yeah,
they'll have something to say openly, right?
yeah. No,
But
no, it's crazy because like when I moved to LA, I went to like one of the biggest advertising agencies there, and like they were not expecting me to walk in. Like they were like, "What the hell?" But like he went through my website, and at the time I was selling prints, and he was like, "Bro, your price points are way too low. Like this is crazy. Like I can't believe I'm even looking at your work. But like I really want you to like." He was hyping me up. I was like, "Damn, like I'm really that good." Like, all right, like I forget what agency it was, but it was like huge,
mhm.
and they do like movie posters and all that stuff. He's like, "Bro, like your work is amazing, and like your price points are way too low." So that was the value part that came in, and
Mm,
then
mm.
it's continued going.
That's an important, I think, educational point, and I think you got it right there. Is that valuing yourself or knowing your value, right?
Yeah, know your value.
It's like
Like,
you're like, low. Is it low?
is it low? Like you gotta question yourself. Like, dang, is it low? Like,
I gotta
and no, and
triple it.
yeah, no, it's and with me, it's like I do a lot of stuff, not just saying like I just do stuff off the love too. It's like this is literally my passion, so I just get caught up in that. And then sometimes it's like I don't want to handle a business. Like sometimes I just want to be creative. So that's hard. Sometimes it gets hard to separate it, but I had to learn both sides of it so I understand what I'm doing and then understand my business and then understand my creative role. So
That's right. If you ever to hand it off to somebody else, at least you know what they're doing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I can give them a manual to do everything.
Right on. In kind of connection to that, what are some of the things you avoid in your life or in the world that kind of might derail your momentum? How have you kept yourself, focused, so to speak,
I don't listen to nobody. Like I'm hard headed. I'm stubborn. I don't listen to nobody. Like honestly, but just being determined, honestly, like too is like that's what you going back to like how do I excel all the whatever people say. Like I just try to do things at the most elite level. Like every day, like just force feed it, literally put it down their throats. Like make sure people understand what you're doing, your purpose. Like you have a voice too. Like that's important. I don't use my voice enough. I don't, never see me on Instagram putting my voice out there. Like so, but I think that's important. I write a lot. I just keep throwing up stuff, but sometimes that's another thing. It just comes off aggressive to some people or intimidating or.
It's
But if
it's
you have a conversation with me, it's totally different. It's like he's a cool dude, but
I think a lot of people can't take this, and it's what you're saying. It's very much like a lot of leaders in creatives who are creative leaders say and speak that the aggressive side is because you're helping to filter what you need to be
yeah,
successful. You're
successful,
like,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. Outside of my life, let's chat. But
Yeah.
when we're talking business or we're talking about my vision.
Yeah.
This is my way to highway. That's about
Yeah.
it.
That's not even it's not even about
All
my
right.
way. Honestly, like my path of cutting down, like not cutting down people's spirits or anything, like building them up. It's like there's even more vicious people than me, but I had to go fight through the vicious people already to like, get through all that. Like I literally, you know what I'm saying? I know how to walk in a room and just shut everybody down. Like, all right, this is what's gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm
Confidence.
saying? Yeah.
Confidence. I love
Straight
it.
confidence. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I literally could look people in the eye. I'm not scared of you. Like we're gonna either do this or not. Like I'm gonna walk in this room or I'm gonna walk out of this room. Like I don't care who's in the room. It's not even to have a arrogant mindset. It's just like I've already been in those rooms, so it's like, all right, I know I could be around here. I know I could be in these spaces. Like that's nothing to me. And it doesn't phase me anymore. Like seeing celebrities and things, I don't know. I just cut it out now. Like yeah, I just cut it
Yo,
out.
you got that. You got the blockers, yo.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't. I literally don't care who you. Not saying like that. I literally just
Right.
don't care who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could do double what you can do if you want to say that. Like,
Right. Everybody's on the same plane, but when if somebody gets cocky, you're like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna show.
yeah, it's good. Like,
Yes.
do what you can do.
Competition is good.
Yeah,
It makes you better.
always friendly. It's gonna make you better. It's gonna make you feel like, yeah, I need to be better than him or her or however you see it. But people don't take friendly confrontation like that. But.
So I want to talk about some of the gigs and just some of the behind the scenes I saw because I saw
Yeah.
you shoot at Kevin Durant's place. That was I was laughing because I was like, wow, what's going on here? And
Yeah.
also that you traveled the world. You mentioned you traveled the world. Can you talk about also where have you been?
Yeah. Which one you want to start with first?
Either or. Let's go with
So
the traveling. Let's go with the traveling.
yeah, traveling. So traveling, basically learned through like my first experience going to like overseas. I mean, my mom always had us traveling too. So I mean, that kind of it didn't really trigger until I got older. But I don't know. I just got a crazy bug once I got to Europe and like going to like Dubai and we went to
Wow.
Cuba. Like yeah, so Cuba, Trinidad when I was younger. Um, where else have I been? A bunch of places in Europe, Amsterdam, like Prague, Budapest, Venice, Spain, Milan,
Wow.
Venice, Spain, Barcelona, my bad, Barcelona, Spain, bunch of places. Yeah, there's so many. Where
Where's the next place where you like to go if you could go during COVID?
I don't know. Like if see, this is my thing. Like if I go somewhere, this is probably because my exit of the United States. Like I'm gonna go there and stay there. But no, probably my top is Japan actually. But I would go there and stay there.
You'll. That's my next trip. Actually, when they opened up the,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to
That's I
Japan.
think, yeah. I think that's gonna be the first one for sure.
Yeah, you'll do it up there real big for sure.
Yeah, crazy.
Up in Shibuya.
Yeah.
So really kind of share with us, kind of tips of people who are, I think I want to really leave people with some, pointers on your work, your aesthetic, just how you have presented yourself as a entrepreneur, as an
Yeah.
artist, and as a person who connects with different demographics. Kind of share how you see the world that people can understand how to approach it as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I always grew up like I said, in that diverse area. So that was already exited. Like I didn't see no color, no race, no status, none of that. I always grew up around a bunch of different people. So I had rich friends, I had poor friends. Like that didn't matter to me. But yeah, it was just networking through that, I guess. Learning other people, learning where they come from, and then expanding that, traveling and learning other cultures and how to have more better manners or whatever. So
So having an open
yeah,
mind, definitely.
have open mind, yeah, just being prompt, I guess, like I'm pretty much on time all the time. I like to be on time, consistent, like just to
Because
throw words out there.
Mhm. um, Milan Perry asked a great question, especially is directed towards people who shoot. What advice do you have for young shooters? Probably like just starting or just trying to learn more. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm talking to my little sister, but this is
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
differently differently for young shooters. Honestly, it's like if you have a purpose and you want to you have a vision, actually, a vision and purpose, and you want to get into it, just do it. Like I say, just try, see what you like, see what subjects you could dial into, and all that stuff. Go to places. I think it's good. I think it's a good outside thing. Like you just, if you want to get off your phone and all that, you just pick up a camera. Not saying that, but do something.
Right. I think you hit on the mark because a lot of I guess everybody, even myself, we can get stuck on our phones,
Oh yeah,
and not
even
look
me,
at
I get stuck on my phone. Like it's terrible, but I get, yeah, I try and stay like that's why I can keep it on the bike or on as much photography as possible. So you got to keep your brain fresh. So
Mhm.
if you're not learning new things, you're not gonna like expand your wherever you want to go.
Amen. Ditto, bro. I feel that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, feed the mind, brain
You
food.
got your mind, and Instagram is just a trash can of garbage. Okay, so
You-
that's all right.
I'm glad you said it's a trash can. That's true. It's
Yeah,
garbage. A lot of garbage. Some gems, but mostly garbage.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think that's my questions and their questions, but I'm gonna share my screen because you're gonna drop some gems on the folks for sure. And I
Yeah.
have it set up for you. Give me a second.
It's all good.
Yeah, give me a second. I wish I had
So
like
Tim,
an assistant to help out, but here we go. All right. So Omeez, you gave me some words. I asked you to take it home to the people.
yeah,
Just leave them some, what these words mean to you, why it's so important for them to hear it.
relationships. So we'll start with that one. That's important because you need relationships to get everywhere. Like they always say like to get somewhere is 6 degrees of separation, or I don't know the quote, but but
You
that's
got
like
it. Yeah.
true in a sense. Like if you know at least like 6 people, they know 6 more people, and it just you know it connects like that somehow. And then staying consistency. That's important because you always just want to make sure people are updated and know what you're doing. We're living in a time where everybody's uploading information all day long. So if you could keep up with it, do that. Time management, we all have 24 hours in the day. You just gotta make sure you're putting your time into the best purposes and priorities, to get through your day. make sure it's like the most efficient, because if you sit around, anybody can sit around and play video games for 2-3 hours, but you know, I haven't played video games in a year, so sorry if I'm hating, but yeah. And then free thinking, you just gotta have an open mind again, like, you know, just express yourself and, you know, learn other things. That's like, yeah, that's very important, honestly. Yeah. Reading, you know, that's a good place. That's where I learned it. Free thinking, like reading a book and hearing a book or whatever. And then once
Yeah.
I'm focused, yeah, for real. I was just grab my stack right quick. I don't know if everybody can see these, but
You know, you're talking to the librarian, so I'm happy. Don't worry.
yeah, you know, had to show off my little collection. But focus, all right, yeah, staying focused is the most important. Like just having a good mental and understanding what you're doing, what you want to get across, the visions. Again, like put those visions out, make them come alive. Let's just staying focused. I feel like that's a good, yeah, little definition of all the words.
I think those points, you know, definitely, you know, can everybody can touch upon, but they are the core of anything anybody has a passion, whether it's photography, any kind of
Basketball,
other basketball. Yeah,
anything.
it's like if you want your craft to expand and go further, it's you got to put your nose to the grindstone
Mhm.
and sharpen that sword.
Yeah.
Um, definitely, somebody asked, you know, it, and I think it can vary depending on your answer. How much do you charge for a photo shoot? This is more like sounds like a more business opportunity, but do you? Because I know you've done some charity work, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That
for
for
sure.
the community. So I guess you know where's that separation from charging your professional rate and you're like, here, I'm going to give it to the folks, you know, the people, you know.
Honestly, I guess it just depends on the time or who I'm with. Like a lot of the charity stuff is just who I'm with. Like, you know, I'll just get asked to go or something. But I don't know. It just depends. It just depends on how I can handle it. Like with businesses, it's like serious business. With individuals, it's a little harder because they just like you gotta tell them the process and go through all that stuff. But like with business, it's quick. Like they understand what's going on, they put a value on it, or you say yes or no, and they go back and
Mhm.
forth, and then boom. But that's probably like the hardest separation of putting a price on something, because I feel like my art's already invaluable. Like you can't, nobody can recreate it, nobody can do anything with that. Like even with the times, like I have a whole like COVID section of prints right here. Like I was gonna show a couple of them, but like I'm trying to do something with those. You know, like that was a time in history where everybody's just gonna want to look back at. So
Right. You and like you mentioned it, the value of your art can be priceless. It might
oh
even
yeah,
it might not have a dollar amount, but
yeah,
and that's why it's hard to when you know sometimes people kind of negotiate with you. You're like, I don't know, man. I can't tell you
yeah.
the price on that because it's my creation, you know. So,
Hmm.
but luckily you have help there.
Yeah,
You can,
and the hardest part probably now is like just where my brand is. Like I'm sure it's like pretty intimidating for people to reach out just like off of who I've worked with or what I've done. Like that's yeah, just like oh I can't afford them or something. But I work with people. I work with a bunch of people. Like a lot of friends like reach out to me and do their like closer stuff, weddings and you know baby showers and all that stuff, and I do that stuff no problem. Like yeah, it's good.
well, it goes back
Birthdays
to
and
you.
all that.
Yeah, it goes back to you being the creative and having the choice, your choice.
Yeah, your
Uh,
choice. Yeah,
yeah. So if you want to do it, you do it.
subjective.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
subjective. Definitely, you know, we're winding down. Maybe talk about any projects you can share. You know, I know you can't share a lot of them, but
Yeah.
maybe you know, speak on what you might be doing. What's Omeez doing in the future that we should be looking forward to. You know.
Right. I mean, right now it's just like working with a bike team, Goers Go. Shout out to all my homies on that. They're killing it for sure. And like, and just you know, placing them in good opportunities. They're all young, so it's like I feel like I have a responsibility to show them a good way to do something. You know, not do bad stuff, but you know, I was a kid once, so already know like what it comes with. So, and
Yeah.
it's crazy like how they're attached to me in a way, like just me being the age I am, and then them being the age they are. It's like they're like, that's Big Brother, pretty much, you know.
You don't earn it sometimes, they just give it to you. So yeah,
Yeah,
a mentor and big bro, that's who you are, you know.
yeah, nah, it's cool.
They got a good person to look up to. That's
I
dope.
always tell them that they need to look, they need to know that. They know.
I
Most of
know they
them.
know. How about any shout outs, closing words that you want to share before we bounce?
Shout outs is hard because everybody's like,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody, you shout me out.
yeah.
Shout out to everyone. I appreciate everyone that came in the chat, spent time. Shout out to my family. Shout out to everyone in the bikes community, everyone in the photography community, everyone, honestly. Like, I feel like it's a good time to just keep spreading good vibes. We're going to be in a better place eventually, So good. It was a good refresh. Honestly, that year was like crazy, but it was like a good refresh, restart.
Yeah, I feel you. I slowed down definitely.
Yeah.
And re, re,
I don't even feel like I slowed down. That's the problem. I just feel like I kept speeding up.
no, you didn't, bro. Sorry,
Yeah.
you moved too quickly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
Everyone wanted to start when I was, couldn't do it.
and anybody else who's watching this later, where can they find you, man?
IAMOMEEZ.com. I am Omeez on Instagram. IAMOMEEZ. And then my VS code is IAMOMEEZ.vscode.co. LinkedIn, Omeez Jones. What else I got? That's it. That's pretty much it. Those are most important. I feel like once you can Google me. Omeez Jones. I am Omeez. Go ahead, Google. Do some research.
That's how I found you, bro. Google.
Yep.
Thank you, Google.
Yeah. See, crazy.
Yo, Omeez, thank you so much for spending some time with me, the library, and the folks out there who's watching right now. Please, folks, support my man here. His art, it's amazing. So if you are a shooter yourself or creative,
Yep.
hit him up. He's approachable, and support yourself. Believe in your work. And because I definitely want to talk to you in the future with these.
Yeah. You already know we're connected now. Tapped in.
Tapped in. All right. This has been the Marin County Free Library Talk with Omeez Jones. Everybody, do enjoy your day. Be safe. Support your libraries. Read more books. And we'll see you next time. One love.
Read the books.
Take care, y'all.
Yep.